Hey, what's up, guys? This is Martin here from Ipkudiak, coming to you live like always, showing up on a Friday evening. And today, we're going to talk about the top signs that a woman is not interested in you. We're going to have a little tier list on this presentation because you guys seem to really enjoy these kind of videos, and I'm actually quite fond of the idea as well. We have about 11 signs to be exact, I think, and you guys know the drill, you know the rules. We have a couple of different, ranks and grades. S being the highest one, which in this case, if any sign gets an S, that's like an instant no-brainer. It's a no. 100%. And D being the lowest one, which in this case, it's irrelevant. It really doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't really impact her attraction towards you. And all these signs are based on my experience, and I find them to be spot on most of the time. So, without further ado, let's just get to the video. Okay, and by the way, I have my little list here because I'm kind of stupid. I can't remember all of them. So the very first sign that we're going to talk about here is that if she doesn't respond to your messages, your text messages, your social media messages, or if she's very slow to respond, she's kind of ghosting you or whatever, guys, that's a strong telltale sign that she's not into you. Okay, I'm going to put it at S. So I believe it's this one. Yeah, that's like an instant no. Why? Gentlemen, women nowadays are on social media and on their phones 24/7. So if she's not responding to your messages, or if she's ghosting you, or she's taking a long time to respond, or maybe she's being very dry, she's not responding to your, she's not really engaged in the conversation, she's not into you. Plain and simple. Why? I don't know what's the reason why. Maybe you turned her off, maybe you're being boring, maybe you're not attractive enough in her eyes. I mean, it could be due to a variety of reasons. But the thing is, she's not interested in you, okay? Especially if you ask her out on a date throughout text messages or through WhatsApp, Instagram. She's not into you. Plain and simple. Don't overthink it. Don't look at all these women online who are telling you that she might be having a busy day, she might be a little bit mad or whatever, or maybe she's not in the right mood. Don't believe these lies. Don't do it, because if the right guy showed around, if someone like Brad Pitt or Leonardo DiCaprio messaged your chick, or the girl that you're talking to who's giving you a hard time, she would drop everything just to meet that guy. I'm telling you. Okay, so don't believe the lies. This is like a really strong sign that she's not into you. Don't buy into all these lies that she's having a hard time. She has to do all these errands. She's really busy. She has too much work, or that she's going through a hardship. I don't buy it. You should never really try or attempt to raise a woman's interest. She's either into you or not. It's that simple. It's that black and white. Okay, which actually leads me to my next sign, which is she doesn't accept your date, or she just doesn't show up at all. Which in that case, we're going to use this picture right here. It's also going to be graded as S. She's not into you. Plain and simple. Guys, I don't know why we tend to overthink these kind of things. I don't know. I think it's also because, when we're struggling and when we're stuck, we always look for advice. And a lot of the times, the advice that we're receiving, it's not going to help us. It's not really the kind of thing that we need, That's why I'd rather be respected and maybe disliked at times than to be nice and fake and placate to people. So, the bottom line is, if she's not responding to your messages, if she's not showing up for the date, if she's, if she always comes up with all kinds of excuses as to why she can't show up, or I'm having a hard time, or I'm busy, I have work, or my girls are coming over. Bro, she's not into you. Just accept it, because the sooner you realize this, the faster you can move on, and the more time you're gonna have to talk to more chicks. You're gonna have more energy to invest all that time into your own craft, your life, your skill set. And this is arguably the biggest mistake that men make. They're attempting to raise a woman's interest, even if she's not responding, she's not reciprocating that interest back, but they keep going they're like a blind dog, man. So don't make this mistake. I'm gonna reiterate. This is the biggest mistake that y'all make. You're chasing women that are not liking you back. Get that in your brain. She either likes you or she doesn't. Now, there are some strategies and some ways you can raise a woman's interest if that's your thing. But I don't like it personally. I'd much rather go out with a woman or talk to a woman online who's actually giving me some signs. She's being receptive to my interest. She's reciprocating it back. Because dating, in all reality, it shouldn't be so up in the air. It's like a game of tennis. You strike the ball on one side, she gives it back to you. Bam, bam, bam. It should be smooth and easy. And I wouldn't say easy, but it should be simple. Okay? You shouldn't have to question yourself. You shouldn't have all this doubt and be stuck in this place. You have you have mixed feelings toward her, and that's not what you want. You want to move with passion and purpose and be direct. And when women give you flimsy responses and when they're being indirect with you or they're telling you all kinds of lies as to why they can show up, drop them. You don't need them. Bam. Throw them into the bin. No pun intended. This is just like a little metaphor. Okay? Don't buy into the lies. Okay? Watch a woman's actions, not her words. Okay. Sign number 3 that she's not into you. She moves away from you. She's never around you, or she keeps her distance. Okay. Another very, very powerful point is going to be this one. I'm going to say it's also really, really strong. I'm going to put it as S as well. And now you have to really think about it. Because when a woman is really into you, even if she's shy or she's being very insecure, or maybe she doesn't have a lot of experience with guys, she's still going to be receptive to your interest. Okay? This is something that y'all have to get in your brain. She's still going to be positive about the fact that you want to approach her, or that you want to talk to her. Because women, for the most part, they're usually not going to make the first move. They're very shy, they're anxious, they're nervous, even more than you guys, man. They're very nervous creatures, especially now with social media. They're so fixated and self-obsessed with their looks. They notice all types of flaws in their face. Pimples, acne, or maybe their skin is a little bit fucked up. They notice all of that. So, the bottom line is you have to act on it. Be the man and make the approach. Be bold. So, if she's moving away from you, or if you can notice that, whenever you walk into a room and you make eye contact with this chick and she's deliberately moving away from you, she's not being around your presence, she's not into you. Or maybe, let's say you're talking to this chick one-on-one and you notice that she's kind of keeping her distance. Maybe she's giving you some kind of signals, but she's not really sitting too close to you. Or let's say you lean over to her a little bit, but she's, kind of like going backwards a little bit. She's not into you. Okay, someone could argue and say, but Martin, maybe she's attracted to me. Yes, that might be the case. If you're a really attractive man and she views you as a really top man, that might happen. That might actually happen. But in most cases, that's not the case. Okay? We have to look at the averages here. There's exceptions to the rule. But probability-wise, that's probably not the case. So, that's it. If she moves away from you, she's not into you. Okay. Which actually leads us to sign number 4. Lack of eye contact. Again, really, really, really strong sign. But in this case, I'm going to put it as B, as neutral. Why? Or let me use it as A. Because it depends on what kind of eye contact she's purposefully avoiding. And it really depends on the context, the situation, if you've already talked to the chick. But in most cases, if a girl is not looking at you, it's a really strong sign that she's not interested in you at all. Now, again, you might be really attractive to her. She might be deliberately avoiding eye contact with you, purposefully, especially if she's a shy girl and she doesn't have a lot of experience with guys. That might be true. It might happen from time to time. But generally speaking, I would say 80% of the time, or maybe even more, if a woman is not making eye contact with you, she's not into you. Like, sure, I've had cases in my own life where I've approached women that avoided eye contact with me, and things went really well. But it was because I was really able to spot other signs besides just the eye contact thing. I was being really aware of the situation, of this whole dynamic that was going on. This is why it's important. This is why you have to be self-aware. You have to look at the signs, and you have to be confident. But then again, this comes with experience and exposure. You're going to get used to it if you talk to enough women. But a lack of eye contact usually means that she's not into you. Because let's just imagine you're walking down the street, you catch the senorita that's looking at you, or maybe she's not looking at you at all. Okay, let's imagine for a second that you meet her, you catch her gaze. Now, let's say you're making eye contact. One of two things might happen. One, she's either going to look down instantly, and you might sometimes not even notice it, or two, she might keep that gaze and look at you like you're a piece of meat or something. Okay? Or, I mean, that's usually how it's going to go. Or she's not going to make eye contact at all. But if you're good at spotting, little subtle cues from people, you'll be able to spot this, that she's deliberately avoiding eye contact with you. So, in other words, when women avoid eye contact with you, most of the time they're not into you. Okay? Because they want to make it easy. When women are into a guy, they want to make it really easy. So, let's talk about the next one. Sign number 5. She talks about other guys in front of you, or she flirts with other guys. Okay, gentlemen. Generally speaking, this is a strong, strong sign that she's not into you. Because, let's just think about it like this. Let's really unpack it. Let's just imagine you're the girl. Okay, let's just switch positions here. If you're a girl and you're watching this cute guy that you're into, and you're single, do you really want him to know that you're taken or that you're talking to other men? No. Fuck no. You don't want your crush to get the wrong message. You don't want him to know. Not at all. And there's also a lot of women that have boyfriends, but they will never, let the guy know. But that's a completely different thing. We're talking about single girls here. Or women who are openly looking for relationships. She doesn't, want to talk about other guys, or she doesn't want to flirt with other guys or run in front of you. Unless she's that kind of girl, or another scenario which I can really think of where this could happen is if she's actively trying to test you, or maybe she noticed some kind of weakness in with you, and that might happen. Okay, that's why she's trying. Maybe she's trying to make you jealous, or maybe she's trying to see if you're really being needy or desperate for her attention. Yeah, that might happen. But usually I've found that women who actually do that kind of thing, they're usually very manipulative, they're usually very narcissistic, and they usually want all the fame, they want all the attention. That's not really like a high quality woman for the most part. Unless you've really pissed her off, maybe you were talking to some other chicks right in front of her and she's, trying to return the favor. Yeah. But generally speaking, if she's talking about other guys in front of you, or she's talking about some of her exes or crushes, or maybe she's talking about her boyfriend in front of you, or maybe she's, I don't know, actively trying to flirt with other men around you, or maybe if she's doing it when she knows you're going to be there, Big, strong sign that she's not into you. I don't think it's the highest one, but most of the time it's a conscious action. She knows what she's doing. Okay? It might be a shit test, but again, you really have, for you to understand this, you really need to know where this dynamic is going. Okay? You need to know where you stand with the chick. But anyway, let's get on to the next one. She has a closed body language, or she pulls away. Again, we're going to use this little image right here for the sake of this example, okay? She has crossed arms. She's actively looking away. She's, turning her body away from you. Again, very strong sign. She's not into you. I'm going to use it as an S in this case. Because women that like you, they don't want you to get the wrong message. They're going to be very feminine. They're going to be nice. They're going to have an open body language. They're going to look at you. They're going to, be a little bit feminine. They're going to be a little bit flimsy in a way. They're going to be a little bit giddy. They're going to play with their hair. They're going to act like a woman. Plain and simple. So, the fact of the matter is, if a woman is having a closed body language around you, she's not into you, most likely. I've seen this with a lot of women, especially when they're crossed their arms. I mean, you can usually spot this if you're really on your game, and if especially if you're in a public space, like a gym, commercial gym, at a work. Maybe you can spot this at the workplace, at a grocery store, at a restaurant, especially if you know this chick already. You've broken the ice with her, and you can see how she's interacting with other men, and with you, she's being she's having a positive body language. She's very, very talkative. She's looking at you in the eye. But with other men, she's kind of sitting like this. She's kind of looking distracted. She's looking down, and she's maybe she's looking on her phone. You know what's up. So, if a woman is exhibiting this kind of sign around you, she's not into you, my G. You just have to accept it. Maybe you did something to piss her off, or maybe she might be a little bit insecure around you, but most likely, I would say in this case, 90% of the time, if a woman is showing a negative body language around you, she's not into you. Okay? So, let's get on to the next one. She never approaches you, or she never initiates the conversation. I would say in this case, it's a really strong one as well, gentlemen. We're going to put it at A. Because, again, when it comes to a lot of these signs, you have to really calibrate and analyze where you stand with the girl. Have you already broken the ice with her? Have you talked to her in the past? Have you slept with her? Have you been on multiple dates with her? Ask yourself these kind of questions. Now, if this is a chick that you just met, if you've just broken the ice with her, you're in that beginning stage of the relationship, you're really trying to, pursue this chick. In the beginning, initially, most women I found, they're going to be a little bit insecure, they're going to be a little bit shy and timid around you. And they're not really going to make the first move. Okay, women are just not going to make it. Unless there are some rare cases where it can happen, but most of the time, don't depend on it. Be the man and make the move. But let's say a couple of weeks pass by, or let's say a couple of months pass by. If you've talked to this chick multiple times now, and she's still not reciprocating it back to you. She's never actively approaching you on social media, in real life. She never initiates the conversation. You can tell that she's probably not into you. Because women, again, when they really like a guy, they will make it easy for you. In the beginning, yes, she might be uncomfortable with you. She's not really feeling easy when it comes to interacting with you. She's having all these kind of butterflies, and she's being very jolty about this whole thing. But as time progresses, she's going to open up. She's going to be more and more receptive to your interest. And she's going to start reaching out to you. And if that happens, bingo, you just got her. But if not, if you always feel like you have to always make the first move with her, you always have to, ask her questions. You always have to make the first move. You always have to ask her out on a date, even after even after a couple of weeks past that first interaction. She's not into you, most likely. Or if it's, again, and there might be like some anomaly out there who will never actively make the first move or interact with you. But again, we're looking at probabilities here. The fact of the matter is she's not reciprocating it back to you. Even especially after you slept with her, you've been on multiple dates with her, you know this chick, and she's still not making any kind of moves on you. She's not into you. Okay? All right, let's get on to the next one. She's always busy. Oh my god, man. Man, bro, so many guys buy into this. If she's always busy, I'm going to put it as S. And let's see if we can zoom in on this one. Okay, take a look at this quote. Nobody's too busy. You are just not important enough. Now, gentlemen, why is that the case? Nobody's too busy. You have guys like Elon Musk, arguably the wealthiest person on the planet. And if this man has the time to tweet some of his own tweets on X, and then you have this bimbo, this chick that you're talking to, that you met at some random bar on a Saturday evening, and she's giving you a hard time, you want to ask her out on a date, and she's giving you all kinds of BS and all kinds of excuses and justifications as to why she can't show up. Oh, I'm busy. I don't have the time. I have work. I have to study. I have to do all these errands. If she's giving you anything else but a yes, she's not into you. Because even if she's really busy, and I don't care how busy she is, I don't care how successful she is, she might be some boss babe, she might be running a Fortune 500 company, but even then, she's still going to have the time to meet up with you. She's still going to show up, even if she only has 20, 30 minutes inside of a very busy, hectic week. She's still going to show up. That's the bottom line. And y'all don't want to buy into it. Y'all want to listen to some dating coaches online, some female dating coaches who are going to tell you, oh, she's just having a hard time. She's going through some hardship. Or she's, having some mixed feelings about you. Bro, she's not into you. Because people make time for things that are important to them. So, if she's giving you a hard time, she's always coming up with all kinds of reasons as to why she can't make it. She's not into you. Now, let's just imagine for a second. Hey, let's just say she's busy. She's actually busy. She has work. She's a career woman. Okay, that might be the case. But even then, even if she's busy and she can't show up, or let's just imagine you're asking her out. So let's just say you ask her out through text or WhatsApp or Instagram, and she's not really giving you the response that you want. But let's just say she comes up with an alternative. Oh, hey, Martin. Hey, Ben. I'm busy on Monday at 8 p.m. Or I'm busy at Thursday night. I have some work to do. But I'm free Saturday evening. At this time, I can meet you. Wham. The job is, you just got the job done. She's into you. So that's the thing. People make time for things that are interesting to them. Okay, so don't buy into all these kind of lies, man, because I see it all the time. Anyway, I was just rambling a little bit too much on this one. Okay, sign number 10. She doesn't give you her phone number or her contact information when you ask her out. Okay, so this is like a thing that this might happen to you when you ask her out in public. Or let's just say you're doing some day game stuff, or you approach a chick at the bar, at the gym, at a restaurant, at a grocery store, or maybe at school, at work, and she purposefully gives you the wrong contact information. Let's just say you're talking with her, you're talking about some. Let's just say you're talking about some teddy bears. You're talking about work, or you're talking about all kinds of things for 20 minutes, which, I personally wouldn't do it. I would just, talk with her for like 4 minutes max. I would get straight to the point, show my intentions, because you have to be quick in this game, man. You have to get straight to the point, especially if you're asking girls out in public, at gyms especially. You have to get straight to the point. You don't want to razzle dabble. You want to get straight to the point. So, let's just say you make the move, you pull the trigger, and she refuses to give you her phone number or a WhatsApp. Which in this case, just tell her, okay, bye-bye, lady. Wham, I'm going. Now, or let's just imagine she gives you her contact information, her phone number. In this case, excellent. Okay? That means she probably likes you. But anything other than that, anything other than her giving you her phone number or, contact information like her email, her social media accounts, she's not into you. Okay? Or she tells you, I have a boyfriend, I have this and that. Okay, she might have a boyfriend, or she may not. You never know, unless you pull the trigger. So, in this case, we're going to put, if she gives you the wrong contact information, is a strong no from our side. So the last sign on this list is she doesn't ask you questions. She's not showing any kind of interest in your personal life. I would say it's a strong one as well. I will put it as A. Because initially, yes, women might be really insecure, and there might be really feeling awkward about the whole thing, that you approach her and you start talking to her. Because let's be real here. If you're someone like me and you actively approach girls in real life, they're not used to it. Women, for the most part, especially if she's a beautiful woman, they're not used to men that come up to them and strike up random conversations. Men who are bold, confident, and who know what they want, they're not used to it. This applies to men and women. We're so used to, texting on our phones all day, scrolling through social media, WhatsApping people all day long. We're not used to, real life interactions anymore. So the fact is, they're just not used to it. And so she might be a little bit shy around you. She might be a little bit nervous. That might be the case. But most of the time, you're going to know it. Okay? If you have experience, you'll be able to relate to me. If she's not asking you any questions, she's not showing any kind of interest in your personal life, particularly when you already know the girl, you've talked to her multiple times on numerous occasions, and she's still acting cold and distant with you, she's not into you. Okay? So, yeah, man, that's it. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Oh, by the way, we have a different sign as well. Which one is it? I forgot about this one. Okay, it was supposed to be having a dry conversation, which is also a really bad sign. It's a really strong sign that she's not into you. It's a sign of disinterest. So, that's about it. By the way, if you guys have any questions, comment down below. I love you guys. I love all the support that you guys have been giving me. So that's it. Have a beautiful day. Ciao.